what the option was now, of course, I'm running out of battery. Another repurpose, we're repurposing, reusing, recycling. So this is a old pallet board. People are laughing at me, by the way, as they're walking by the team room. So this is an old pallet board. Well, it's an old pallet, but I cut it into a board. All right. Most of the teens, all the teens actually, they took and they painted this whole board to prep the wood. And I prefer the old wood look, so I did not. I'm going to send you some primer. I'll mark it primer, and you can prep this as primer. And then what you want to do is you want to draw out. I'm going to have to show you on my phone. And you know how tech savvy I am. So what I have done is I took one of the silhouettes and I drew a dragon, just like this. Well, painted it. But when I say draw, I mean I don't even know if you're going to be able to see that. Of course not. So I took it and I drew it out before I painted it. So if you see up here, this is the silhouette that I used for the basic outline. And then I drew out the dragon before I painted it. Some teens started to paint it. They got frustrated because it looked like a blob of paint. So I highly recommend drawing it out. And I'll show you another picture. Yeah. Of where it does look like literally a blob of paint. So what happens is, I outlined it and then I just painted it purple because I wanted purple. And then I started adding the little details. And the way I add my details, I am not an artist, as you can see, because, this looks pretty messy. But when the sunlight is shining in your window, imagine when it hits the wall, imagine sun hitting the wall and the shadows that it makes on your wall. So let's say you have a gray wall. Where the light hits the wall is lighter than where it doesn't hit. And where there's less light, it's actually appears to be a darker gray, even though it's the same gray. It's where the light hits it. So I imagined in this painting that the light was coming from this side and that the darkness was coming from this side. So I tried to highlight right here. They're still laughing at me out there, by the way. And so right here, to make it look like the light was hitting it, a different way to give it different light. So that's, let me tell you, it's not going to be perfect. You do your best. I hope you like this. It was just a way to repurpose wood and make it. The one thing that I do like about my painting is the flames. Of course, I love flames, so of course those are pretty cool looking in my opinion. But another thing I did, but you can't really see it, is I painted towards the grain with the grain. So here's the grain of the wood. If you see it, you follow the grain of the wood as much as possible. Of course, you can't always follow the grain. You have to paint against the grain. But then I added tiny little triangles to make it look like scales, which, you know, they didn't come out that great. Lines for the wings, so there's some details right here for the lines of the wings. And that's what I did. With the paint, with the flames, the best way that I can explain that I did that is I started with the yellow, and I literally took it and I smeared it, and then I just took it, I started from this side with the heavy paint, and I just kept on smearing it out, and then I would dip it again and smear it out, and smear it out, and smear it out, and smear it out, and smear it out. And then I started with the orange, and basically I started the same way. I smeared it out with the orange, but with the red I did the opposite. With the red I started at the tips of the flames and I smeared it in because I wanted the red to be more detailed, and I didn't want the red. Red is very overpowering. It would have overpowered the yellow. So I started with my fresh paint on red and painted from the red into the flames. So the yellow and the orange, I started here and just smeared it out. And then of course I added more yellow to give it more details. And then I outlined it with black to give it more of a pop. So that's what I did. And I'm not an artist, but this is the best I did. And I hope you like this activity. So you'll be getting almost everything that you need to do this. And there's plenty of silhouettes to give you ideas of the outlines of dragons. And then you make your own details. All right, well, if I don't see you Thursday for Dragon Egg, I will try to make another video on that. Or we'll try to make a Zoom meeting for that. Okay? And I will see you later. I missed you, so I'll see you later. Bye.